Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Sheng. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. As rising prosperity and technological advances transform Chinese society, the nation's criminal profile is changing dramatically. In the past decade or so, the number of violent felonies has plunged, while new forms of misdemeanors emerged, creating new challenges for the legal system. From 2013 to 2021, the number of serious violent crimes, including murder, robbery, and kidnapping, declined by nearly 30%, according to data released by the Supreme People's Court in July. Nearly 85% of all criminal convictions in 2021 ended with a light sentence of less than 3 years imprisonment. From 1999 to 2019, the number of people prosecuted for serious violent crimes dropped from 162,000 to 60,000, an average decrease of 4.8% annually. In 2019, 21% of those convicted were sentenced to jail terms of more than 3 years, compared with more than 45% a decade earlier. Lu Jianping is a law professor at Beijing Normal University. He believes the changes reflect the country's enhanced governance and improved law enforcement capacity with the use of new technologies such as big data and cloud computing. This is also because of the changing lifestyles, such as the rising popularity of automobiles and online transactions. China identified drunk driving as a criminal offense in 2021, subject to as much as 6 months detention and fines. Since then, the number of people charged with impaired driving has increased significantly. In 2021, prosecutors brought up such charges against close to 351,000 people, accounting for about 20% of criminal cases that year. A 2015 revision of the criminal law added assisting in cybercrimes as a criminal offense, subject to as many as 3 years of imprisonment in response to a surge in online and telecom scams. The charge applies to those who intentionally apply technology, marketing, or transaction assistance to criminal activities in cyberspace. In 2021, nearly 130,000 people were prosecuted on such charges, an 8-fold increase from the previous year and ranking third among all criminal cases behind impaired driving and theft. The new trends are pressing judicial departments to adapt and explore changes in the handling of less serious violations, shifting away from a stance of severe punishment and toward greater leniency. In April 2021, top prosecutors established a principle of prudent detention and prosecution for criminal cases, providing a framework of dealing with misdemeanors. In September, the highest court issued new rules governing bail to support the more lenient postures toward less severe offenses. Local authorities have also taken steps to test new practices to develop a more tolerant system, such as expedited processing of minor crimes, opting for community service instead of prosecution, and sealing minor criminal records for female offenders to reduce impact on their lives. Legal experts are calling for a more rational view of crimes and a systematic arrangement to properly handle offenses with different levels of severity. Despite lingering disputes over the classification of misdemeanors, judicial departments in practice normally treat offenses punishable with less than 3 years of imprisonment as minor crimes. But legal experts differ on whether the classification should be based on penalties written in the law or actual sentences by courts. Judicial practitioners in China have often opted to follow the broader approach to classifying minor crimes in recent years, taking into consideration both legal terms and actual sentences. In 2021, more than 85% of China's convicted criminals received less than 3-year jail terms, compared with 77% in 2011. From 2009 to 2020, the country's homicide convictions fell by half, from 14,700 to 7,200, while the number of robbery cases plummeted from 283,000 to 11,300. But China's criminal law has also been expanded over the years with the addition of 27 new offenses, mostly misdemeanors like drunk driving and throwing objects at a high altitude such as tall buildings. Legal experts in recent years have increasingly called for abandoning a felony mindset in dealing with misdemeanors and for more sophistication in the law of criminal procedure to differentiate the handling of minor crimes from that of serious ones. The lack of specifics in handling misdemeanor cases means police tend to follow the same procedure for minor offenses as for felonies, often leading to excessive apprehensions. This generates excessive costs for society and causes unnecessary pain for suspects. In developed countries such as the United States and France, a set of systematic arrangements has been designed to handle minor crimes, including practices such as simplified legal proceedings and various non-custodial sentencing options such as fines and community service. Chinese authorities have taken steps toward change. In June, the central government issued guidelines requiring law enforcers to seek a proper balance in handling criminal cases and lean toward leniency for those pleading guilty. Legal experts also suggested increasing the use of fines and probation to replace jail terms for minor offenses. But the changes face limits due to the constraints in China's current law of criminal procedures. It lacks provision to support the changes. The pace of legislation has lagged behind the judicial practice. In August 2021, the Intermediate Court of Zhangzhou City in Fujian Province initiated the country's first test of sealing the criminal records of females convicted of minor offenses. The test was lauded as a pioneering step toward eliminating the impact of conviction records for certain offenders, which often blocks them from starting a new life. But the Zhangzhou pilot program was halted not long after it started. A source from the Intermediate Court said the rules for the program needed to be more detailed. The Zhangzhou test faces legal obstacles as the current criminal law stipulates that offenders report their conviction records to communities, employers, and other entities after their release. The elimination of misdemeanor criminal records is a key step toward humanizing the judiciary system, legal expert says. As the crime structure changes, the justice system should also step up its development. Still, it is a long way to go. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, be well.